American English and British English. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're sound and great. In today's video, we're going to explore an interesting topic, and that is the difference between American English and British English. I am an ESL instructor, and most of the students ask me whether they are learning American English or British English. So in this video, we're going to solve this confusion. If you're ready, let's dive into the difference between British and American English. Remember, both are the forms of English, but there are four main areas where British and American English have differences. The first area of difference between British English and American English is vocabulary. We have different words for the same thing. For example, the word biscuit is used in British English, but for the same thing, we use the word cookie in American English. The second example is the word lorry is a British word, but for the same thing, we use the word truck in American English. And two more examples are the word trousers. The word trousers is used in British English, but for the same thing, we use the word pants in American English. And the last example is the word jumper. The word jumper is commonly used in British English, but for the same thing, we use sweater in American English. So please take a little time and write a few examples in the comment section. The second area of difference between British and American English is the spelling. In some of the words, we have O-U-R at the end, but while using American English, we use O-R in American English. Here are a few examples. For example, the word color is spelled as C-O-L-O-U-R in British English, but the same word is spelled as C-O-L-O-R in American English. And the next example is the word honor. The word honor is spelled as H-O-N-O-U-R in British English, but the same word is spelled as H-O-N-O-R in American English. I mean without U. So please write down a few examples where British words end in O-U-R and American words end in O-R. Also, some of the words end in I-S-E in British English, but the same words end in I-Z-E in American English. For example, the word realize. The word realize is spelled as R-E-A-L-I-S-E in British English, but the same word is spelled as R-E-A-L-I-Z-E in American English. And the next example is the word organize. The word organize is spelled as O-R-G-A-N-I-S-E in British English, but we spell the same word as O-R-G-A-N-I-Z-E in American English. And some of the words have double consonants in British English, but the same words have single consonant in American English. For example, the word traveling. The word traveling is spelled as T-R-A-V-E-L-L-I-N-G in British English, but we spell the same word as T-R-A-V-E-L-I-N-G in American English. I mean, in British English, we use double L in the word traveling, but we use single consonant, single L in American English. Please write a few examples in the comment section in this difference as well. The third area of difference between British and American English is the pronunciation. For example, the sound R is mostly not pronounced at the end of words while using British English. But in American English, the sound R is clearly pronounced. For example, the word C-A-R is pronounced as ca in British English. I mean, the sound R is not pronounced clearly, but in American English, it is pronounced, and we say car. Also, the next example is water. W-A-T-E-R. This word is pronounced as water in American English, but in British, we pronounce it as water. I mean, the sound R is not pronounced at the end of words in British English, but they are pronounced clearly in American English. The fourth and the last area of difference between British and American English is the grammar. How? An action which has recently happened is used in present perfect in British English, but in American English, it is used in past simple with the words recently and just. For example, in British English, we say, I have recently eaten lunch, But in American English, we say, I recently ate lunch. Also, when we use have and has for possession, they are changed into negative with only the word not. For example, I have not any free time in British English, but in American, we say, I don't have any free time. It means in British English, have and has can negate the sentences with only adding the word not. But in American, you have to add extra auxiliary verbs, do and does. I don't have any free time is said in American English, but I haven't any free time is used in British English. But keep in mind that this was in old-fashioned grammar. In modern English grammar, both in British and American, we change the sentences with don't and doesn't containing have and has for possession. In the grammar difference between British and American, we also have some more differences, like using the prepositions. For example, in British English, we say at the weekend, but in American, we say on the weekend. And the last example is using the preposition "an." In British English, we say in a team, but in American English, we say on a team. To conclude the topic, British and American English have differences in these four areas: vocabulary, spelling, pronunciation, and grammar. Some of you might be concerned about mixing British and American English while taking an international exam like TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, Language Cert, and so on. So I have the greatest news for all of you. When you are a non-native learner or taking an international exam like TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, Language Cert, and so on, you can mix British and American English and it will not affect your score negatively as long as your speech is clear and understandable. The important factor is the clarity, so be mindful of your audience and purpose and don't worry to mix British and American English. Have a nice time for now. See you in the next video.